Hi, sorry about that.
It was a long 10. Hey, we're actors. We'll always take a long 10. Come on.
So we were leaving off with memorable moments. Is there any other memorable moments or things that you would want to share that you know, because I am going to show this to my students. I want them to watch it, and I think it's really great to hear your journey or anything that you think is important to share.
Well, I will say something. I just, people, I can't imagine a life without Janet. And, but I also, not just to be, I just, people often say, God, I don't know how, I know people in the business, they're like, I could never date an actor. And you guys are, you're not an actor and you make that work beautifully, and personally me, I'm like, there you go. Great. Don't cut that out. But, I can come to her, personally, I love that I'm with an actor, because I can, we can, I get her, and God bless her, she gets me.
It's the same for us, though. I think.
Well, you're an artist, sure.
With artists, yeah.
And we're both we both can get very hyper focused. Right. I mean, we can get, so I think we understand that when it's time to work, we can say to the other one, it's time, I need to be left alone. And because we get each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. But go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, the thing about, being an actor or musician, it's, you just never, you're stitching together, the quilt of your career, it's one job to the next. And, it's nice if you have a show that reoccurs, might be a Christmas show like Doug does, a Christmas Carol at Cincinnati. And, so, you do have those regular gigs, hopefully. And, but, I think for, kids and young adults or anybody who wants to, who they're looking to have a career as an actor, the thing to remember is to get your head on straight about it. What are you're doing what you like, even if it's in some off-Broadway gig or regional gig. I mean, regionally, we all want a regional gig, but it doesn't matter what it is, if you're sort of dedicated to it and doing, your job, because, it's a good job one day and it's a not so great job the next day. And, hopefully you like what you're doing. And sometimes you don't like the job that you're doing, but you're hired and you do it. But, I think for me, it has always been about the people, the friends that you make, and hopefully there's and trying to cultivate that in whatever setting you're in, and, who you take along with you along the way. Now, time and space, sometimes drives a wedge, between friends that you have made. And as an actor, you meet so many people, but, that is really to me, that is the thing that is so wonderful about being an actor. You get to be creative, yes, but you're always being thrown into a whole new group of people, and you get to maybe reinvent yourself a little bit and figure out how to be better at your job or be a better person. I pity people who are in a 9-to-5 job and they're sort of, and not that they're stuck in a rut, but we get the chance to, try to improve ourselves, if hopefully that's the route you go.
That is really insightful. And it's absolutely true, because first day of rehearsal, it is like it's starting from scratch, right?
Yes.
And usually it is a new group of people, but you are right about the connections that you make. It is a very unique thing in theater, because I mean, like I said, it feels like yesterday. It also feels like a lifetime ago, the Mountain Playhouse. But I mean, when you're sharing moments on stage with people, it is unlike anything else. And it's a connection that stays. It stays with you. It's a memory that's so vivid. And that's really great. I love that whole reinventing yourself, because I think that is an opportunity to grow and to
Yeah.
Well, it's like being in a class, it's hard for students, like your students are all in a class, when they go to New York, or wherever they go, and everybody should continue studying, of course. It's that's when you get to sort of figure out how you're going to be as an actor. You get into a new, or just an audition, or you get into a new class, and figuring out how to shed away your relationships and approach a scene, even if you're best friends with somebody, or if you don't like that person, you have to figure out how to be professional about it, and not be, not friend, even if you don't like them, you got to figure out how to make it work each time. And it's tricky to allow yourself to sort of make mistakes and then come back into class and reinvent yourself, and not get plugged in like the Joker, or the guy who never knows their lines. For you as a teacher, it's hard to sort of uplift these kids to, every time they have to take on a new scene or whatever it is, to say, you get to start from scratch now. Let's reinvent. Let's all sit in a different place, or whatever it is.
No, I often say, not your exact words, your words were lovely. I always say we flip the page.
Right.
It's like
Yes.
a fresh book. We flip the page, and but it is really true. It's a wonderful way to put it. I think it's really good. I think that for us as artists, all of us, it's nice to be reminded that we have that opportunity. And when things come back, I think it will feel brighter and fresher than ever, because we've been denied that opportunity.
Yeah.
Did you guys lose any work? I mean, were you in the midst of things, or did you
Oh
have
yeah, I lost a gig. I lost 2 gigs, and who knows how many others I may have lost. The 2 I knew about, where I had a gig at a theater in Maine that was going to start in April, and that got obviously torpedoed. And then the one that really kind of hurt, I mean they both hurt, of course, was the one that Janet referenced, the Christmas Carol at Cincinnati Playhouse. I mean, that has become just a thing that we so love, I so love. And it's so rare in this business to go to the idea of, that you get to return to something time and again. As Janet was saying, you meet people and sometimes you see them, your besties, and then you see them like 6 months out of doing the show and you can't remember their name. I mean, it happens all the time, and it's not that you don't like them, it's just that the experience is intense but brief, and so it doesn't really get. And this thing is, if in fact we get back to doing it, it will be my 7th year doing it, and I love these people. Some have left, but most are still there and doing it every year. And I mean, these people have grown to become such good friends of mine, and so that was a heartbreaker to not be able to do that.
Hopefully that will come back, though. I think it'll come back. I was in the middle of, I had just joined the tour of Anastasia.
Oh, okay.
So I was out there for a couple months, and it's, in one day they were like, we're shutting down. Everybody's staying here. We're going to see what's going on, because it's sort of a state by state thing at that point. And then they said, we're sending everybody home. And, we had to pack up our trunks and everything. And then our trunks stayed on the trucks. And, every month we get a new email that says, we're canceling this city. We're canceling this city. And unfortunately, the writing was sort of on the wall. We were only scheduled to be out until August 2nd. And I guess we had hoped that, they would extend the tour, but it didn't happen. They closed it down. So, that's it. You just go, well, okay, I think everybody was in. What about you guys? What were you doing?
Paul was lucky, because for music, I mean, you can talk about it. There was a jazz club. He's primarily a jazz musician, but we met doing he plays shows all the time, and we met doing a show together. But you can talk about how lucky you were with the outdoor music.
Well, I mean, because we can perform outdoors, starting around Memorial Day, people started organizing things outdoors for musicians to play. And at first it was a tips kind of thing, but everybody just wanted to play. But there's the big jazz club here in town started doing music on the street in front of the place. It's in a really nice
cool.
neighborhood, Shady Side, so people could walk up, and then it became a thing where by the end of the summer, I mean, 100
Plus.
people would walk up. Everybody distanced. Everybody had their masks on.
And you brought your lawn chair, so you kind of like popped
you could order food from the place, and they would bring
What
it out.
club is it? What was this, Paul? What place?
It's called Con Oma. It's on Ellsworth Avenue.
It's sort of new.
Yeah, it's new, like as of 2019. But people were coming out they were having live music again Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday out on the sidewalk.
And they were all masked. So
Yeah.
the band was masked, and then everyone sitting outside, was also.
Yeah. So we had that opportunity. I also played a show for some kids at a theater company. They did
Mamma Mia.
They did Mamma Mia, and the band they did it outdoors, and we were indoors in an old school, all distanced, like all spread out across a room. And they
that's cool.
The music outdoors to the kids. So I got to do that. My opportunities, I've had way more. I mean, there have been countless streaming things where people will say, hey, we're going to do a concert. It'll only be the four of us and a couple of camera people, and we're going to stream live. So I've had way more opportunities, unfortunately, than you've had up to this point.
I lost a gig with the Civic Light Opera, then I lost a gig with the Pittsburgh Public, which was hard, and it was a Neil Simon, and I was
gig.
so.
It's a big.
I was.
Oh, that's right. You were going to do. Oh my God, you were going to do Barefoot, right?
Yeah, I was super excited to really.
It's a great role too.
Great
not
role
to
for
wrap
you.
it, but yeah.
Yeah.
You're playing. I played the guy a while
Oh,
back.
you're perfect. Actually, that
Victor.
role I think is one of the funniest things because he just comes in and he has these that was and then all of our we do gigs together. Those were all put aside. I did a Zoom for the public. I did The Importance of Being Earnest but there's a ton. God bless them. God bless the public because they have spread the love around.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it's not about hiring the same 5 actors. They have really made it a point to every new stream bringing in new actors.
Yeah.
And they give them an honorarium, which is great. But yeah, I mean, for us, we lost everything.
Except for our teaching.
We teach online, so thank God for that. But it's surreal. I mean, downtown, I do a benefit every year for the Pittsburgh Food Bank that I co-direct and choreograph, and this year it was all online. So it's everything changed, everything was different, and it'll be weird. I don't think theater will be back in the summer. I think at the earliest in the fall or the winter. And
the interesting thing about, teaching, and I guess you're teaching online, your students, I was talking to Joe Deere. We did a Zoom thing with his students, and, I could see they were in their, in their living rooms. And I mentioned to them, I said, that this is what it's like when you get out of school.
Oh, yes.
And you're in New York City, or you're in, your apartment, wherever you are, and you don't have this community around you, classes every day. He said, this is the challenge of being in this situation. And you have to be disciplined to vocalize yourself every day and do something physical and keep, you have to keep your chops up yourself. And that's what's happening, with these, Zoom teaching. I imagine I'd be the person, in my pajamas all day long on the couch going, I'm not going to do that.
No,
But-
she would.
Never.
And we all know this.
We all
But,
know
maybe.
you would be the A+ student.
No, but it's sort of, it's like, you can say to them that, hey, this is what it's like.
That's
You're going to have to get up and motivate yourself, because you have to keep sort of studying or practicing or whatever it is. You just don't learn everything in school and then boom, you're done, and you're with educating yourself anymore. So it is sort of, it's that added element of having to get yourself in gear every day in your own little apartment or your own little room.
That's a great point. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I'm always amazed that I have some kids that are so self-starters. They're just like, they realize it. But for a lot of kids, all ages, I'm talking anyone that's learning during this pandemic, it's been so hard to stay motivated, to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And, this year, the Pittsburgh Public Theater always does this monologue and scene a Shakespeare monologue and scene contest. And I coach all my kids plus other schools. And I thought to myself, oh my God, if these kids see this through, if they really follow through and do this, they will see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And at times it was like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
But then every single one of the kids submitted. They all got to the end of the tunnel. And I said, well, what did it feel like? And they're like, it felt really good that I did it. And I said, well, that's what it's like in the real world. It's just about, sometimes it's just about the audition.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's just about the audition.
It is your job, It's,
as Wayne pointed out once, Wayne Schroeder.
Wayne Schroeder.
Wayne?
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And in fact, Wayne comes out with these things all the time. He's like some kind of Buddha or something. Every now and then I just go, Wayne, say something sage, and he'll say something. But he said, well, I had an audition once, and he goes, well, I said, it really went well, and I don't know if I'm going to get it. He said, well, no such thing as a wasted good audition.
That's true.
And I was like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah. You just
really profound.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Wayne,
that becomes your job, of course. It's just to be really good at auditioning. That is sort of what it is for an actor. Once you've flown the coop, it is your job. I remember somebody, my friend Lori Fisher, she was talking about this years ago, talking about preparing for an audition. And I was like, what? Oh my God. I mean, she was really, really preparing for it. And I was like, oh, wow, I've got to be better about preparing for an audition,
I'm pointing to Paul because I'm very
meticulous.
And if I didn't have Paul does all my music, he helps me. I wouldn't have booked half the gigs because I'm like, I have this crazy idea and I need you to help me with it.
She has an in-house arranger.
Yeah.
Music copyist.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this song. I'm going to change the lyrics in this key going into this song. Can you please make me a chart of that?
And God bless him, it does.
Nice.
I have a question.
Yeah. Has he ever turned to you and said, Chris, I don't think you should do this audition?
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure. I usually kind of ignore it and I do it anyway because I feel like, I mean, I always say to my kids, leap and the net will appear.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just like leaping. Even if it's
Listen, sometimes you fall down, but you get back up.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. I mean, I went into I don't know, this is one of those times, I went into auditions going back 25 years, but more, 27, God. I was 4 and we were doing, I went in, I don't know why I did this, but I went into audition for Company at the Playhouse. And again, with the musicals, and I mean, and I didn't even have a song. What was I thinking? I just walked in, and I said, guys, and Jerry Dantry, bless his soul. Did you know Jerry? Jerry was a great, Jerry. I guess that's a yes.
I loved walking into an audition and seeing him at the piano.
That guy was, and he was, for a guy like me, he was just perfect.
Oh yeah.
And I walked in, he said, why don't you sing Happy Birthday? And I said, okay. Sing it like it's a real song, though, put some feeling into it or something. So I kind of did. And Lenora was sitting there. And I certainly knew of Lenora. And I booked the damn gig, I mean, because you just, you don't.
And the net will appear.
Yes.
And sometimes, though, it is important to note, and then sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes you fall straight through and you hurt your neck.
And those are valuable too, I mean, because you learn from them,
That's right.
So
But
it does appear more often than not, so I will say that.
What were you going to say? You said you wanted to ask them
Oh,
something.
I have a question. So I'm absolutely positive the public wants to know, what have you been binge watching on TV since the pandemic started?
Well, a million things.
Everything. You know what we're mourning recently, just now, because we've been putting off finishing it because we loved it so much.
6 episodes, 6 years.
6 years, 6 seasons worth of The Americans.
Wow, you just started it now.
Yeah, we
finished it.
I'd
We just
never
finished
really
it. Yeah.
watched it, and I'd always heard such wonderful things about it, and we loved it so much.
Yeah.
You're familiar with it? You've seen it?
I am, but we haven't done that one yet.
No, we haven't.
Oh yeah. Well, it's so consistent. It's great.
So,
And then we are watching. Well, I've watched it, but I'm rewatching it with Doug Schitt's Creek, and of course. And then we're watching a thing called Call My Agent. It's in French. It's awesome. Love it.
love it.
I love
And
it. It's hilarious.
yeah. And what? Oh, we're watching. Pretend It's a City.
Sing with Fran Lebowitz.
We
Yeah.
just started
Fran
that.
Lebowitz.
Oh, the friendly Leibowitz.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we love that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. And then, of course, early on in the pandemic, when I was not with my beloved here, she was off in Minnesota, and I was by myself in the early scary days in the city, and Ozark suited my mood, so I binged Ozark. And
I need light fare.
She can't do violence.
Well,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
just
it
like,
matched my mood.
yeah, no.
It's pretty incredible.
Do you
You
watch?
probably shouldn't watch The Americans then, because
Okay.
it's not quite as bad as Ozark, but it goes.
Yeah. I like to keep it light. Do you watch the Great British Baking Show?
Oh God,
Of course. Yes. We've been through that.
It's the greatest show ever.
If only people died at the end, it would be really great.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we love that. Love that. And then we're also, what's the other thing that we're watching? Shoot.
What else?
Dang it.
Mandalorian?
Well, she loves these housing. We've been watching. It's adorable.
Grand Design
But anything.
or anything.
Grand Design, which is
Sure.
and House Hunters International is our go-to.
Yes,
We love House
love
Hunters
that.
International.
Oh,
Here's-
I did binge Bridgerton, of course.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah,
And it
That's
was
fun.
total utter trash that I ate up.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling it. I
I
tried
could do
a
it.
little.
I
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. I'm with you, Paul.
Absolute.
I don't get it at all. I don't get it, man.
It's super fun. It's not great, but it's super fun.
That's exactly right. It is a total pot. It's like
And no.
cheese balls.
What did you say though? You can't watch it with your mother.
Oh yeah.
You can't watch it.
Well, because it's trashy, it's based on romance novels, and I was like, oh, why is this so trashy suddenly? I was like, I didn't know at the time that it was based on a romance novel, and then I was like, oh, I see, okay, so it
That's
is what
fun.
it
And
is.
movies, Nomadland.
Nomadland, we just watched
I'm
that.
waiting for that. Yeah, I can't wait for that. No,
That's
Yeah.
good. She is amazing.
Yeah,
And the people that are not actors in it, oh my God, they use a lot of non-actors, and it's kind of embarrassing how good they are.
they really
I
did.
can't wait to see that. That's the Frances McDormand one.
What are you guys watching?
What was the movie, the documentary, not the Cuba one, but what was the documentary?
Lady in the Dale.
Have you watched Lady in the Dale?
No, but that's that one that the one with the what are we saying now? Transgender
Yeah,
woman.
Oh yes,
who-
I want to
the-
watch
yeah.
this.
Park.
That,
Yeah, 70s.
we're like, because each episode's an hour, and we get through an hour, and we're like, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Like we
Yeah.
binged
And we
it.
were the Crown
The
took us
Crown.
over the
Well,
edge.
the Crown
Well,
is.
the Crown. And the Queen's Gambit,
Yeah, that was fabulous.
Yes.
Yeah, Queen's Gambit got some blowback for some reason. It got some pushback. It was, but I thought it was. I'm like, sorry.
I loved it. I thought she was
Yeah.
amazing.
You know what else we loved? The Last Kingdom.
Oh,
I'm gonna
and
write-
she got
Last
me into that.
Kingdom.
What is
Go
that
write
about?
it down.
See, Janet loves that, and that's not usually my go-to. Early on, when we were living at the cabin this summer, she'll start watching a show, and I know to go work out or do something because that's her time for that show, right? And but I would, that doesn't mean I don't come in and make some fun of it because I'm watching it, because she loves fantasy, sword and sorcery stuff, and stuff
This
like
is
that.
based on historic.
It's based on
events.
history, yeah, but it takes liberties,
Yeah.
and it takes place. It's like England and what is it? England and
Anglo-Saxon time. Right?
Anglo-Saxons versus the Danes, I think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And there's this character who's the lead. His name is Utrecht, and it opens every season opens with him, a voiceover, him going, "I am Utrecht, son of Utrecht."
Oh, it's fantastic. You're gonna love it. It's real fun.
I made such fun of it.
I
and
wrote it
within,
down.
like, 2 episodes. Oh, I was hooked.
Hey, you know what else I'm watching? Borgen on Netflix. Borgen is the Danish sort of West Wingy type show. It's really good. Very good. Borgen.
Here's one for you, if you
Yes.
haven't already seen it. Cabins in the Wild.
Oh, is that on HGTV?
Netflix. It's filmed in Snowdonia, which is in Wales.
Okay.
And it's about these people that they were doing what was considered like a pop-up hotel, but they're all different cabins, right? And it's amazing. Like,
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely.
What
Is it on
on?
Netflix?
it's Netflix. Cabins in the Wild, and I mean, it's really cool.
And then
Okay.
they fight with swords, and it gets really bloody and stuff.
Mhm.
No.
They're
Oh,
sweet and polite, like all people from Great Britain are, and
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm excited about that.
What's the other show that we
We've
really?
been doing Disney Plus.
Oh my God,
The
Disney
Mandalorian.
Plus.
Mandalorian.
Stop it.
Yes.
Stop.
yes.
Okay, if you've obviously watched it, we would watch it and we couldn't stop talking about it.
So,
Yeah.
So good.
Like we would just
It's
watch.
so good.
Have you
I
watched
think it's going to
WandaVision?
continue.
WandaVision?
We haven't watched that yet. WandaVision. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you something. I have not watched it, but I have worked
WandaVision.
with somebody who's in it. Deborah Jo Rupp, is she in it? She plays housewife. She was from that 70s show. Do you remember that 70s show?
Oh,
She-
let me Google her
She
face.
was the mom on that 70s show. If you ever seen
You'll recognize her.
Oh yeah. She was the woman in the first episode who was like, "Stop it, stop
Oh
it,
yeah.
stop it."
Yeah.
That
So
sounds
they-
like her.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know what else to say, but every episode is like a genre of TV.
It's like a decade
50s,
of TV.
60s, 70s, 80s.
Okay.
But then there are superheroes.
Yes.
But it's like, yeah, it's not like if you're not like a superhero-y person, I think you'd
Well, I'm
get
sure
into it.
we're getting to that.
Yeah, we're getting into it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay. Can't wait.
Soul.
Oh.
Yes, we saw that. Loved that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Stop.
hmm
sobbed. We did
Yeah.
sob. And then what was
Yeah.
the big highlight of the?
A movie or a TV show?
I feel like there was another really big highlight.
Yeah. Another show, something. Yeah.
But
Trying to think what else.
We binge hard because when we get invested in something, we can't. We just like we can't wait
Yeah.
a week.
Well, that's why the WandaVision thing is so
Oh.
hard, because they're putting out the episodes weekly, and so it's
Yep.
like,
You gotta wait.
Yeah. That's the thing with the great.
You guys are just young enough to not possibly remember when, because you had VCRs when you were little, but I'm old enough to remember I remember one year I missed Rudolph
You just miss it.
because it was on once.
Yeah.
Was
If you missed it,
it's
you're
gone.
hooked. And I missed it, and my parents thought they were gonna have to call a doctor. I mean, because
I used
because
to.
of me.
Okay, my family didn't have a VCR. I was like probably I think so. For my 16th birthday, my mom said, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" And we had a video rental store, and I said, "Could we rent a VCR and watch movies?" And we didn't have a VCR, and so we rented a VCR for
Wow.
my
Was it like a Betamax?
yeah. I don't even know. And I
Was it one of those ones? Was it a top loader? We rented one. My ex and I, when we first moved to New York, we didn't have enough to buy a VCR. They weren't cheap back then, and so we rented one that was like it was a top loader. Yeah.
And so, I know what you're saying about the Rudolph thing, because what I did as a kid, I don't know if you remember in the paper, where the funnies were was a TV, it was like a grid,
TV Guide.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I used to, on Sunday when that would come out, I would circle everything I wanted to watch and make
Yeah.
myself a little like note to myself.
Yes.
I was so obsessed with not missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, now it's just, the one thing I really miss, frankly, is, I mean, I miss theater, obviously, but I grew up in a dark movie theater. That was my thing. That's all I did. I went to see movies. And when I'm down, or if I just need, I'll go to see movies. Like I remember I was working not far from here one day, and there was just nothing. Janet wasn't around. I didn't know what to do. And it was like a holiday for some reason. Something was going on that made me feel lonely. And I just knew the place to go was a movie theater. And the only thing was that sequel. And I was lost because I didn't see the first one. The sequel to 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I would never go near that thing. And I walked in because I'd gone to see something I wanted to see. And there's still more hours in the day. And so I went and I sneaked in. I just slipped in to watch it. And I was like, I said, I can never get rid of the stain of that movie, but still, I don't care. Sometimes it's just about being in a theater,
Yeah, that's true.
Did you know the actor Bingo O'Malley? Did you work with him?
Of course, I adore Bingo. Yeah, Bingo and I did a reading or two. Did we ever do a show together? I'm not even sure that we did, but I love that man.
He was
I know.
a real. He has like a huge part of my heart. But we used to do bad movies. We used to deliberately go. There was a couple of us that would go to a movie theater knowing the movie was going to be bad.
Yeah.
And
wait a second, we did that one year for Christmas, and you guys, we walked out after 35 minutes.
Sometimes we would walk out and go get a drink, but sometimes we just stay to laugh. It depended how many people were in the theater, but yeah.
Nick Cage, man, he's a good go-to for that. You'll always have Nick Cage if you want to see a bad movie.
Yeah,
he's made some good movies. So speaking of Christmas movies, did you watch Claus?
Claus Out?
What?
Wait, which Claus?
It's a Christmas movie. It's just called Claus. Klaus.
Oh yeah, is that what it was called?
Oh
yeah, where he's
a mailman.
He's a mailman.
The animated.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Yeah,
I love that.
She made me. I'll say she made me watch it, and I was like, at first I was like, every now and then she makes me watch something, and 90% of the time I'm down with it, right? But I was like, and it's funny, that thing slowly built, but then like about 20 minutes in, I was like, oh my God, this is so good. It was so wonderful.
I made him watch Galaxy Quest. I made him go to the movie Galaxy Quest.
That was one of my favorite.
This during the pandemic.
I had never seen it, so.
Oh my God!
Yeah. I tell this story about this. I don't want to embarrass Janet, but that's when I first kind of knew, wow, I love this woman, because we went. She dragged me to see. We were at a crowded theater in Times Square, and I didn't want to see it. And sometimes I can be a little bit of a jerk. I can be like, "Well, show me." Okay, fine. Oh yeah, Tim Allen, love him. He's a right winger. I mean, whatever. I'm just like sitting there, And so the movie starts. It's obviously right away an incredible movie. And the thing is, the joy of it was we were in a packed, big Times Square movie theater, packed, and that roar of laughter that you get in that crowd. And at one point, we're not a half hour into it, and something happens that's so funny. And Janet turns to me, and she goes like this. She looks at me, and she looks at me and goes like that, right? Like, can you believe how funny this is? And I was like, well, I think I love her. I mean, I don't know why. It was just the gesture was so cute.
That's a good movie, though, right? That's
I cried at the end.
Of course.
Cried at the end when he looked at the nerds, and he's like,
"Oh my God!" I mean, you can quote that movie, and you guys know Tom Schaller. Tom Schaller is a quote machine. That guy knows he sees a movie once, and he knows. We're not that way, but still, we've managed to, some of the things from that, like, those poor people when they're talking about, was it Gilligan's Island? And no, it's a television show. Oh, yes, those poor people.
or I see you've managed to get your shirt off.
Yeah.
It is and here's the other one I made him watch during quarantine. So Galaxy Quest and Toy Story 4.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
He put up such a fight.
Well, I didn't want to. Toy Story 3 was so they wrapped it in a bow, and it was like, I don't want to ruin this.
And he did not want to watch it, and I said, you have to trust
And
me.
4 was even better.
And he was
Wow.
sobbing just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Well, you know the one that Janet got me with, like it was Up, right?
Oh.
So we watched it. This is years ago, obviously, but we go over and she goes, "We're going to watch a movie," and I always know that means we're going to watch
What I want to watch.
So I was like, okay. So I moped on over, and you know, and she put it in. And I said, "This is animated, Jen. It's an animated movie." And that's the thing. Often she'll turn me on animated movies, and I'm like, every time I do the same damn thing, I go, "Oh God, a cartoon," and then I love it, and then I forget that I loved it.
Well,
So we started watching that, and of course, it has that montage at the beginning. You know,
5 minutes in.
5
5
minutes
minutes
in.
in.
I'm
5 minutes
a
in.
mess, and I turned to her and said, "Am I going to be crying through this whole thing?" And she's like, "You might be," because she'd seen it, you know. And I was like, "Oh my!" Or no, you hadn't seen it. But you just knew that it was sad.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. Yeah.
God, I love that movie. Yeah.
We're the same way. We're the same way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Chris, you look exactly the same.
You do.
God.
No,
look at
I
that
wish.
face.
It's
You look-
insane.
You both look exactly the same.
Now you're lying about me, anyway.
No, but you,
yeah.
wow, that is amazing.
I put on
I'm just
I
so
put
proud.
on a lot of makeup for this.
So did I.
I'm now too old to play Abacus. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am sad. You know, we used to go up to New York. Like, we used to drive up, and I'd like go to an audition, and if there's something I really wanted to be seen for, and I wanted to go up and see To Kill a Mockingbird. I wanted to see it. Did you guys get the chance to see it? No.
I tried to go.
I was doing a show.
She was doing a show. I probably could have like put myself to it. The one time I went down and tried to is a buddy of mine. This is late in the run, right before COVID, and Ed Harris was doing. And Ed Harris had thrown his back out because, you know, speaking of, frankly, too old to play Abacus, but
He is too old.
so he gets a pass. But my buddy Chris Invar was understudy, and he went on for 3 nights. And I raced down, and I could not get in, and tried to get in, but so I did not see. Although I did audition for it, and I did get my hands on a script, and I remember I went to I went to an EPA, which I never go to, but I do if it's something that, you know, because I have gotten callbacks and stuff through EPAs, and I did when I was younger, of course. But I went to this thing and read for the judge, and I was reading through the script. It's very good. It's very long. It's 4 hours long, but it is a good, you know, Aaron Sorkin. It's a good script. It's very, you know, it's very good.
Good for you. What was the
You can get it.
What was the quote about a good audition never goes to waste?
There's no such thing as a wasted good audition.
No such thing as a wasted good audition. So
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's out there. It's in the universe. You know, I'm not a big spiritual guy, but hey, I do believe in things just being out there, and if you keep doing them, they come around. You know.
I know there's something really important that Paul wants, because I said,
Oh,
you know,
my
I know
goodness.
that these are people that I know, and I said, but you're gonna have a bonding moment as soon as you mention this word to Doug.
Well, sort of. I mean, it's very bittersweet what happened to the Steelers this year.
Oh,
It's incredibly bittersweet. I think we got 11 weeks of wow. This is incredible. This is unbelievable. And then it all came crashing down in the worst possible way.
oh God! It was. I did not watch a lot of the games. I got so weird about it. I was like, they were on that streak, and I think I didn't watch the first game, and they won. I was like, well, that's it.
Me
Now
too.
I can't watch anything.
No, that was my ritual. I can't watch the whole game because somehow they're winning. They're winning. They're winning.
Yeah, I can't screw that up. So then, what do? I decided to watch I decided to watch them against Cleveland. You know, and I was like, I've never seen. I mean, that was history making. That was such a collapse. Like I've never.
I had to leave the room. I was like, I can't watch this.
Okay, so I know you can go down the dark hole, but the reason I brought this up is I feel like I can connect you two on this, and then on Facebook you can help each other. You can like
Get through it.
seek therapy for each other, and then
Well, I don't know that we can though, because I think we probably. I don't know about you, Paul, but I just go to the dark place and stay there. I'm very comfortable there, as Janet can attest to. She pulls me out sometimes, or just says, let me know when you're better.
Uh,
Our last thing that we're going to ask you, and you can't say Janet and you can't say Doug, what you can't survive this whole year without. You can't say each other because that's obvious.
I would have like pandemic
survival. And we ask everybody this, and streaming services always come up for me. Like, that's what's helped me get through. But I will say the other thing that helped me get through is the fact that this, like, making these weird, even though they're not real connections, helped me stay sane. So what is,
I feel like we're
I
connected.
think it's a real connection.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right. I think you have to say it's a given, the streaming services, that's it, because we're all doing that. And I sort of enjoyed that, having done so many years going to theater, that is your evening. I'm not going to lie. I was sort of like, I totally dig this. I mean, for a while, it was like, this is fun not having to work at night. But, I don't want it to stay that way. So yeah, the streaming services, but I think the thing that has been really, fun for me, is, two things: really reconnecting with some friends and trying to really stay connected with them on phone or whatever. So there's been that sort of like, what are we going through? Let's stay connected. But then being out here at the cabin and on the lake, I have met a handful of more friends. I mean, that I probably wouldn't have, because we're at the cabin, one Sunday nights, and Monday's our day off, and maybe we get on
this
the boat.
This is the first time we've had a continuous summer up here where we
Yeah.
were just here the entire season. And Janet, she gets the credit for this. I'm more retiring. If I meet people, great, but I don't go out there and go, I got to meet some people.
Yeah. But I just, have met, a bunch of new friends. So it's been awesome. And also being able to it sort of feels normal, like I get to, cook and then meet friends and or talk to friends. So that has been great for me, getting off the rat wheel.
how far away are you? How far away are you from New York City? Because when you say the cabin, for people watching, are you like 2 hours from the city, or
2 hours and 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so not that far.
Not bad. It's far enough to feel like you're getting away, and close enough that it doesn't feel too far away.
We can run in if we have to, and we do. But yeah, so it has been, but at the same time, of course, for everybody, it's so isolating. But I think it's. So meeting the friends has been great, but trying to stay in touch with a few people that you're like, I need to be in touch with that person and reconnect. Even this is great. When you get so busy, you just can't do things like this. Like today, Doug was like, yesterday, do you want to do that? I was like, sure, why not? That sounds like fun.
I didn't say it like, do you want to do that? I didn't say it like that. Okay.
No, he was like, I was like, yeah, that sounds like fun. Whereas, there's just more time to sort of enjoy that stuff. Yeah. And I think Doug and I have done pretty well, being together. We certainly get on each other's nerves. It's not all, oh my God, this is so wonderful. It's hard to be solely connected to one other person when we're so used to, we're such social people. So that has been sort of like, oh yeah, this is
okay. I'm going to end with you, Doug, but I'm going to go to you first. So what do you need to survive COVID?
COVID?
I mean, being home and all that.
I hate to say this.
You can't say your music.
Well, I was going to say my computer.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, sure.
Really,
yeah.
Like really kept me connected to what's going on. It's
absolutely
to make music with other people.
Yeah.
It's allowed me to do my YouTube stuff, and really it's given me a lifeline.
Yeah, I get that. And what about you?
Okay, I'm gonna go do a runner-up, which would be the cap. But I have to say, for me, the downside of COVID is I'm definitely one of those people that's carrying the COVID-15. I mean, I've been snacking and eating badly. But on the other hand, workouts. We're staying, I've always been a guy who works out, and I bought a really lovely spin bike that
Nice.
we have here, and I hit that thing hard, and because I need that definitely. I mean, I can be moody, I can be, and it definitely assuages that. It helps me lift that, So it's been terrific. Simple thing as that. Go for walks, work out. I've become the king of the resistance bands. Who knew? I mean, I was like, I don't even know if I'll go back to the gym. I mean, like, yeah. So it's awesome.
What about you, Lotta?
I mean, it's painting. I've been painting a lot.
Oh yes, you have been painting.
Yeah.
That's
It's
amazing.
It's just like really freeing and really I don't know. It's just freeing, and am I good at it? No, but it's really freeing and it's really fun,
And you do it a lot.
I
You
do
have
it a
a
lot.
lot of paintings.
Yeah, I do it a lot, and then I like giving them away or like doing it for charity, and it feels nice to like. I did like an art sale last summer for Black Lives Matter, and I thought maybe like 5 of my friends will show up in masks, and all these theater people showed up, and I was like, oh my God, yes, theater people, like.
Yeah.
So, in a way, I'm kind of like one of those people that needs to be doing things. So I need like a project, or I go a little bit.
I'm gonna paint this. We're renting this house. I'm gonna paint her kitchen for her. I was like, can I do a project?
You know what I've discovered? I'm very good at doing absolutely nothing. I'm perfectly happy to read or watch some TV or be on the computer.
Yeah, not me. No, I
Sounds
can't
like
do
spirit animal. You and Doug could be spirit animals for each other.
My brother.
I just want to say, like, this was such a treat for me.
Oh, same
so
here.
much fun.
I have such admiration for you guys. Like, I think you're amazing. I think you're so talented and so you're like the gems.
You're sweet.
Gems.
Let's do this every week.
Yeah, you're so sweet. Thank
I
you,
mean
Chris.
it. I really mean it, and I know it's been like a lifetime ago, but like you had such an impacting presence on my artistic journey, and like your just professionalism and your kindness and your always attention to detail. It's something that when I think of you both, I think of so specifically, and not just in like the sense of like comic timing or anything like that. I mean, like in life, that you're very so.
That's nice to hear.
I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and your kitties are beautiful, and we hope.
Love your kitties too.
Yeah.
We all got new kitties. Yeah.
Kitties are the best.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
We end every episode the same way, and since you're our first couple, you can
You can join in.
You can join in. I love you.
I love you.
I love you.